Welcome back to Made of Wires, where we're decompiling Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We finished off Ralph Grant Sifa yesterday, and I haven't gotten that sent out for a PR yet. Busy. You go to sutton.z.dev to learn more about the project. Let's figure out what we're going to work on next. I think we'll look at some existing overlay, pulling in a new overlay. I like pulling in new overlays, but it takes some work to do. So let's look at what's there. I have not really been a social creature as of late, so I don't have a good sense of what is left to be done. So I'm going to just rep for include ASM, specifically looking in stages and seeing what we might find. So it looks like NOO for PSP needs some matches. I don't really want to do matches now. A lot. Is that just mine? Our cat is interesting. We'll look at E-spikes. This is the reverse catacombs. Yeah, let's see what's there. If we have spikes already, it's duplicates, or maybe we just need to import something new. Maybe things are going so well that we only have new things to import. So let's look for entity spikes. See if that exists already. Doesn't cat. It does look like we have dupes already for that. So the big thing is, are we needing to invert it? So I'm gonna keep looking. Saturn would be good to look at, but I haven't done any research into that at all, so I can't. Let's get rid of those. Now we have our old friend from Stream that nobody's been able to match yet. Our cat. Main PSP, there's a bunch. Let's look at font print for main PSP. So this is a debug function. It comes from the PlayStation SDK originally, but we have lots of functions that were stubbed out, and this is actually kind of cool because it means that there's a second implementation of the PlayStation SDK. I'm not sure what the compile options are for these, so these might not be as nice. The optimizer might be used. Hey, Dizik. It has been a while. So I've not looked at this too much. I did look at it originally to see if there were symbols that we could get. What am I looking for here? Not source, I want ASMU, PSP. Main, non-matchings, main, 27. I'm gonna look at font print. It's pretty short. And we're calling a bunch of the PSP functions, which makes sense. Let's copy that and see what we can see. I don't know a lot about, and like I said, I haven't researched this too extensively, but I've not looked at I think these are both older. And these were the PlayStation versions. Okay, so nobody has looked at this yet, as far as I can tell. But the things in main may have been compiled with different options, and so we don't know quite yet what we're getting ourselves into, but we'll figure that out. So we can look at what the signature for this SCE, so that's Sony Computer Entertainment. This is, like I said, a PSP function from the SDK. There is a open source implementation of this, so we can get the signature from there. Maybe, I thought so. Maybe not. This came up in my Google search, but no, it's not there. So we can kind of guess what the parameters are going to be. Here's actually a there's a blog I found about it. Somebody trying to rewrite it in Rust. Alright, I can't find what it is, but let's think about what might be going on here. My guess is that this may be a font or a font index. Hey, Jonah. Jonah or Jonas? Or John? Nice to have you. Regardless. So we're taking a format, and it looks like based on Jonas, good to have you. Based on this flag, so this is our let's go over here and we'll look at font print, what the US version looks like. So in every version of a PlayStation game, you're compiling in the libraries that you build with. And just like this PlayStation version, the first arg to font print can be some identifier or it can be a format. It's a really odd API. Normally, so we can do this in C because C is pretty fungible. We can cast just about anything to anything. Entropy Gravity Well, good to have you. I hope you're staying warm. But in some cases, it's treated as a 32-bit value, and in some cases, it's treated as a string. What an odd thing to do. Oh, 60s, that's crazy. It's too warm for this time of year, I think. Nice for you guys, though. So let's see what we're gonna do. Let's go back over here. So I'm going to change this to a const char star. We do have var args, but we should just treat the whole thing as var args. I'm not too worried about all of this. We're going to have to figure out what's going on with these registers, but let's get this compiling. First, I'm going to comment all these out. It's one of those functions where it's possibly small and tricky. I'm going to make the assumption that this is a sine 32. Don't know for sure. Get rid of these function signatures since we don't know what they are anyway. And I don't think we need these stack pointers. The Rock as in Dwayne Johnson. So we probably need a well, I guess more power to your coworker when he has his giant rock statue. Let's get these. I'm going to comment out these. So this related to the var args, but we don't know what the var args are yet. So I'm going to get this compiling before we get into anything too much. So most of this compiled just the way it should. And then we have a bunch of M2C errors because of registers and things like that. Let's not worry too much about that. Let's just start where we are and see what's going on. Ah, the Rocktopus. A recursive Rocktopus. Okay, so we're missing some stack. That's fine. So it looks like we're doing this check first and then doing some additional work. So we assigned less than immediate. And that looks like comparing v0 to... so this is like a debug enabled. So let's make a new var here. We'll call it debug enabled. And here we'll say debug enabled equals 1. So we get our variable there. And then we'll say debug enabled. And so that gives us the rest of this. Why are we getting v0 instead of s? That remains to be seen, but it might be relevant. We'll find out in a little bit. I'm not sure how to force this to be a v0. But like I said, that may or may not be important. So same thing here. We're going back to v0. Now we're loading one into another v. So let's see if, well, let's get something working and then we'll go. So we'll say, what should we say here? We may be using an optimizer. I'm not sure. All right, so the next thing we have is this var s0. Here I'm going to try to do this times. No. Oh, we're pulling from the stack pointer. I see. And at some point we're moving S1 into A2. S1 we have from up here 33. Okay, so not quite right, but pretty close implementation. So let's figure out what's going on here. It does seem like it would be going through vargs. However, there's a couple odd things. We don't actually have a loop. We're never branching, as far as I can tell. We do have a buffer. That's what's causing the additional stack space, and maybe what's causing our zeros as well. So I think we have a buffer that I'm missing. Let's add that. And so what would our buffer be doing? Let's try it. So we're going to make a char buffer, and I think we have 64 bytes based on the size of the stack here. Maybe our format is... So, are we writing into this buffer? I was basing that on this here. Let's move the buffer up. Get rid of most of this. I have to do something with that buffer now. I don't think there's anything. Are we doing anything with A0 or A2? There's A0. A1. So we're overwriting the args. How would font print work if we're not doing anything with the args? I just want to see if this would give me a better stack size. It does, but it's too much. I'm not using this, so I don't actually need that. My stack is correct, but I do have one additional variable that I don't need. And I don't think that this would be this. That does give me the correct stack. We're missing a move, and we're missing this stack pointer offset, which is troubling. I would think, let's go to this function. I'll save this. We'll go look at this next function. I would suspect that either 3124 is a buffer. That's probably what it is. Probably a byte buffer. Let's go look over here and see if we can find this one. Ooh, doesn't exist yet. So this happens because we don't know yet necessarily where all of the functions are, and sometimes Splat can't figure that out either. Or, what am I looking for? 1970. Did I look at the wrong thing? I looked at the wrong things. That's what's going on. So we do have a BSS buffer. This looks like a function that's in its own file. Huh. Where is this coming from? I've never seen this where something is exported directly without being in a non-matching. So possibly this is just being exported as like a bin. It doesn't mean we can't decompile it, but it does mean we can't compile it back in. Okay, so yeah, this just isn't modeled correctly at the moment, but that's fine. We don't need it to be modeled correctly to be able to decompile it. We just can't import it back in until it's in a C file. I'm trying to go a little fast, move with a little swiftness because I don't have much time. And again, we don't know the compiler settings necessarily here. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so we don't have some of our niceties because this is not being imported into a C file. So some of the things that we normally would have, we don't have. And M2C did not do very good for us. This likely is a SDK function then, is my guess. Let's look back over here and see what are we doing. Is it possible that this is actually just assembly? Yes, but I doubt it. We should have a symbol for this. To me, this looks like a SDK function. Let's see if we can find one. Fortunately, this is an ELF file, so we can use readelf among other tools. Let's see if I can remember where this is. PSP-EU, PSP game, user, right? User, yes. SCL, not SCL. What's the name of this? PS.elf. There we go. Okay, let's see. This has to be case insensitive. We don't have a symbol here. Rat. Object dump we might be able to use to, let's try object dump with this assembly. Nothing there either. So there's no prefixed value here. There we go. So here's our offset. We don't have a symbol name. We have relocations to that address, but not a symbol name, and the only place that's calling it is here. So likely just a private symbol that was compiled in and linked as part of the SDK. So let's go back and look. It looks like we're calling a lock here, get re-entrant, and then an fprintf. That would suggest to me that arg0 is a buffer. Let's see if we can find what get re-ent is. It's not a function I'm familiar with. It is part of libc. Is there a man page for it? There's not. And let's see if we have a definition in... So we have a symbol somewhere. That symbol should be showing up in config. And let's see if we have this. Okay, so it is new lib. Interesting. Okay. So we know what the implementation of that. I'm not familiar with new lib. I don't know if it's open source. Let's look. Is it open source libc? It looks like it's just glibc. Okay. What is this macro? Get to that macro. Why am I not signed in? Trying to find where this definition would be. Want re-ent.h. Let's try to find that file. don't know where this impure pointer symbol is coming from. So it looks like it's the first arg. Is this where... Nope. That's not where defun is. Identified. Okay, so not sure what it is, but it does look like this. We're going to say that it's a void star. And I don't know what the second arg is, except... it may be superfluous. It may just be put into the A2 register. But it's not even the A2 register, it's going into V1. So that value is int max. Is V1 going into... Yeah, I don't see how that's being used at the moment. Isn't this fun? So int max should be defined. It normally would come from standard int. Since it's not, we'll make a definition. We get rid of both of these. So because these are coming from libc, should be able to find this printf as well. Actually, both of these we can probably find just in libc. So, see if I can get this to load. So these are going to be they're going to be GPL, which actually the starting library is a BSD license for newlib. That's good. So we do have a definition for that as well, and so we have the definition as well. So let's take that, and we're gonna have to have a little fun. So we'll take this. So somewhere we're gonna have a struct re-entrant, and that's also gonna be a new lib thing. We can have a 0 size struct, so that's fine. Our re-entrant function is gonna return a pointer to that and take a void star, and I'm really not sure if it takes a second arg. It's possible that it does. I don't know. Let's say that it does for now. And then our SV printf re-entrant is going to take that pointer. It's going to take a file star. If we don't have that, type, we'll deal with that later. Const char star, these all look familiar. And a VA list, and we probably don't have that either. So we'll say that it's a void star. We don't have a file, so we'll type def file to void pointer. Yeah, let's just call it an int. I know it's not an int, but so our first arg is going to be our buffer. So that'll be a char star, and we'll call it buff. Our second arg is going to be our const char star format. And then our arg. I'm not sure where the that subroutine. So this is going to be a VA list. AP. RF. Oh. Apparently this is a file up. I didn't realize that we were going to file. All right, so how do we do 0%? So it's extremely unlikely that this was compiled without optimization. So we're gonna have to turn the optimizer on. This is Sony code and not Konami code. My guess is that it's 02, but it might be more or less. I doubt that it's up to 03. But 03 gets us a little closer, doesn't it? And unlikely that's 04. But to figure that out, basically we just have to try them all. Biz Murphy, a long time ago, did write some tooling to do that. And mentioned it, but I don't know much about that. So trying to force the volatile here. I don't know that it's needed or what it's related to. I'm going to try just getting rid of it. I'm not sure what that second arg is. And I would have to look up the signature. It's not clear to me that it even has a signature that takes two. So I would assume that get re-entrant, and what get re-entrant does is says we may come into this function multiple times, and if we do, what regardless of like what thread we're on, make sure that this is not aliased somehow. Make sure that it's usable. I don't know for sure that there's a return here, so we can try making that a void and see if that works. That helps a little bit. So let's look at our A0. So it almost looks like we're taking masking our output. Would that be a thing? I don't know why you would. So something is causing this mask at the beginning, which is a little strange. Oh, and I missed this load immediate 208. So that's going into V0. But then getting overwritten immediately. A return value, maybe? What is 208? 520? Anything special to anybody? So what may be interesting to look at is whether or not we have a function like this in newlib. Like I said, I'm not sure if it is, well, if it's compiled with this amount of optimization, probably came from the SDK. And so it could have I like this. I wonder if it's one of these. I think there's a high likelihood that it's one of the print line variants. Too much code. It's going to be some small wrapper around it. Let's look for any uses of get re-ent. It may not be interesting if it is. Oh, that's it may not be interesting if that's interesting as well. If this is just newlib, because then there's not necessarily much we can do. It's probably worth knowing what this is, but I don't know that there's a lot of value to having it decompiled, except for fun. Well, let's look for re-ent and printf. Now the VA start is interesting. it just sprintf? Could be. No, there's a lot more. Here's our int max. It might just be sprintf. So our string, our format, our VA list. I think this might be it. Okay, so we'd have to go through and pull in all the prerequisites. Any, like the file struct, for example. There's a bunch of stuff in here that would need to get pulled in as well, and it actually probably is a pretty interesting process to go through and do all that. Unfortunately, I don't have time to do that today, but let's load that back up. Where was I? Take me there. This may be that 208, or yes, look at this. Here's our 8. I'm guessing this is the 200. Oh, this is it. This is it. So it is one of the printf variants, possibly snprintf, vsprintf, one of them. But it's worth looking at, and we can see what it is. Pretty cool. It looks like this is newlib. Like I said, I'm not sure what. I haven't looked deeply into the PlayStation SDK. Or PSP SDK, sorry, to know. But that's my guess, is that we have these newlib functions. And what this tells us is what we should be looking for. And if we have this code, we can better find file boundaries, symbols, things like that. So maybe we'll come back tomorrow and work on that. So sorry for kind of flailing around doing some research, but that's what you got to do sometimes. Go to soden.z.dev. Dizek, Eldritch, Entropy, Gravity Well, good to have you. Jonas, welcome to the stream, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Adios.